From the time we are children, we are told what matters: success, achievement, religion, morality. But behind all of it, quietly, powerfully, is sex. Unspoken, avoided, fantasized. And yet, it plays such a central role in the human psyche. Why? Why has sex become so important? Not just biologically, but psychologically. Krishnamurti once asked this same question. Why has sex been so deeply embedded in man? And he wasn't asking for the sake of repression or guilt. He was inviting us to look, really look, at the place sex holds in our lives. Society used to treat sex as taboo. Keep it quiet. Keep it hidden. Now it's the opposite. It's everywhere. In advertisements, on television, in your Instagram feed. It sells, it distracts, and it dominates. But even before this modern flood of images, even in ancient traditions, sex was a central theme. In India, in certain schools of Tantra, they taught that through sex you could reach enlightenment, that through pleasure you could reach something beyond the ego. Krishnamurti was not interested in dismissing sex. He didn't moralize, but he did ask something most of us never ask. Why has this one thing, out of all of life, become so psychologically important? Maybe it's because for many people, it is the only real moment of freedom. The only time the mind stops. The only time they aren't planning, remembering, judging, worrying. For a brief moment, there is surrender. There is silence. There is joy. So we cling to it. We chase it. We make it into something sacred or forbidden. But we never question why it dominates us. Why? Because as Krishnamurti pointed out, our daily lives are deeply uncreative. Not just in art, but in the way we live. We are repeating routines, going to work, following religious rules, trying to become someone, fitting into the mold. We are exhausted, caught in the machine. So when something offers even a moment of escape, we grab it. Sex becomes that escape, that illusion of freedom. But is that real freedom? And is sex the same as creativity? Some say yes. After all, sex creates life. A painter creates a painting. A cook bakes bread. A singer creates music. Isn't it all the same creative impulse? Krishnamurti challenges this. He asks, is that real creation or just the expression of talent? Is it ego or is it something sacred? Because most of what we call creative is really about self-fulfillment. We want to be admired, to be known, to be praised. Even in sex, we want to be wanted. We want to be seen. So again, the self is at the center. Krishnamurti says, there is a state of creativity where there is no shadow of selfishness. That is true creation. Not what gets hung in a gallery, not what gets streamed on Spotify, but the state of being where the ego is totally absent, where there is no past, no desire, no reward. And this is the tragedy. We give sex tremendous importance, while we give no attention to fear, to sorrow, to confusion. We chase pleasure, but we don't question suffering. And that imbalance corrupts the whole of life. Sex is natural, but when it becomes the center of our psychological life, when it becomes our only doorway to silence, to connection, to freedom, then we are trapped. A mind that is constantly seeking pleasure is never still. And a mind that is never still cannot create. It can only imitate. Real creativity, like real love, like real meditation, begins when the self, with all its noise, is quiet. Krishnamurti asks, do you give equal energy to being free from fear as you give to sex? Why don't you give importance to everything in life and not just this one particular thing? Why don't you give importance to your intellect? And by intellect, he didn't mean book knowledge or theories. He meant the capacity to reason clearly, to be logical in life, to look at things without distortion. If we gave the same passion to understanding sorrow, to being inwardly free, our whole life would change. But we don't, because that requires energy, attention. It requires you to look directly at yourself, not run, not escape. And sex is the easiest way to escape. That's why we cling to it. So the question isn't whether sex is good or bad. The question is, what place does it hold in your life? Is it just another craving? Or is it part of something whole? If you give importance to everything, to beauty, to kindness, to thought, to love, to intelligence, then sex finds its right place. It is no longer a king on the throne. It is just one thread in the rich fabric of life. But if you give all your energy to one fragment, you lose the whole. As Krishnamurti said, life is whole, not just one part. If you understand this, sex loses its domination. And in that, something greater begins. A life of clarity, a life of freedom, a life of real creativity. Thank you for listening. If today's message resonated with you, we invite you to subscribe to our channel so we can continue to inspire, serve, and add value to your life. Your support helps us spread Jiddu Krishnamurti's work and wisdom further into the world. Until we meet again, take care, and we'll see you in the next video.